Greetings, Warhammer Quest fans. Just wanted to go through a couple of the new booklets that are out. And the first one is The Curse of Konzhaufen. And this is going to be the Cursed Town Adventure Pack. And of course, just like the other ones, basic rules only at this point. I'll be coming back and finishing out the advanced rules and the roleplay adventure as well too. But we've got some new board sections that will be printed up this year at some point professionally. Of course, always available for download as well too. And you can put those together if you like. And we've got, five new villains in here. Technically four, as the sorcerer, and the grimoire kind of go together a little bit. But you can read through all of this and see again this cursed town. A maniacal sorcerer has returned from the grave to exact his revenge upon the town of Konzhaufen. The streets are now occupied by flesh-eating ghouls, ferocious zombies, and ravenous wolves. The gates have been cordoned off and the town has been isolated, although there have been sightings of townsfolk who have managed to find refuge in the midst of this sudden invasion. The warriors will need all their might and wits to battle these abominations, save the townsfolk, and rid the town of the evil sorcerer forever. And so this was a expansion that was a long time in the making, something that I had conceived of many years ago. In fact, as I was telling the group that kind of jokingly, that this actually came before Curse City came out. I actually had already come up with the premise of this and how it would work, and I finally got around to getting the basic rules done. And you're gonna again find some good background in here to set up, the adventures and what's going on in the town of Konzhaufen. We've got, the protagonist, the monstrosities, in Konzhaufen, starting with the sorcerer himself and all the spells that he casts. And he's unusual, he does chaos spells and he does necromantic spells. He's a combination of both. And the Grimoire Ultimus in here, his book, the mutated dwarf adventurer, the mutated elf adventurer, and the mutated sister of Sigmar adventurer as well too. And that makes up kind of the villains in there of what the warriors are going to come across, at least the worst of the group, almost. I did save one extra antagonist for the very end, and it's not a guarantee that you would get him, but it's a 50-50 chance, and that would be once you get to the objective room. It's the mutated Minotaur, which you can kind of see a little picture on the back here of this guy. And so you have the basic rules. You have again the all of the antagonists, so all the villains and their statistics. You've got the objective room monster table. You've got all the rules for the new board sections. You've got the 6 adventures, and each one again has been carefully crafted, and I think you're going to find them really fun to do and fun to play. Got a reference table in the back as well too for some of the minions, and again some of the villains that you're going to be, some of the monsters, from the monster cards. And we've got, a different spin on some things, which is going to carry over into all the advanced rules too, which is that a lot of the the villains that you have used in the past for other expansions will be coming back, but they will be mutated and they will have different types of things that will be available to them, skill-wise, ability-wise, which is going to make it really interesting and fun, using the hunchbacks and using a lot of the miniatures from Mordheim as well too, and including again the hunchbacks we see. The Catacombs of Terror, Luther the Hunchback makes another appearance in here with the other couple of hunchbacks. So again, that's the Curse of Konzhaufen. We've got the Fortress of Blood, which is the Chaos Khorne adventure pack. And the warriors now, instead of a cursed town, they are going into the Fortress of Blood, which is a citadel. And we've got Malcius the Bloodlord, we have a Spawn of Chaos, we have a Beastmaster, Gaul the Brutal, we have a Blood Cult Magister as well too, so we've got this this Blood Cult sect that has come in and is following this evil champion of chaos. So here we have the followers of Khorne. And then the unique thing about this one as well too is not only are we going to have some new board sections, but we have 4 dark champions that will appear at various times in this expansion, which is really cool, I think, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Some background again on Khorne, setting up, all the basics, discussion of the Ice Queen and Ice Witches, because the Citadel is located near Kislev, and so we give a little bit of history and background on that. And then you've got again, all of the Khorne followers and all their statistics in here as well too. And then moving on to the Fortress of Blood adventures and some special rules at the beginning as well too, because like we find with a lot of the chaos creatures, whether they're demonic or whatever it might be, they have they're harder to kill. They've got more armor, they've got all kinds of different things. So there's a little part at the beginning that discusses some weapon enchantment. Of course, the Fortress of Blood is also, not going to be very kind to the spellcasters in the party as well too. So you're going to find a little section that talks about spellcasting, power tokens, and fleeing the dungeon as well, all based on Chaos Khorne and how the Chaos God does not appreciate having spellcasters in his area, and he doesn't like cowards either. So fleeing the dungeon is going to have some penalties in there. The rules for the board section, as you have, you've probably seen the Altar of Khorne before, because I have released this board section, but the Monolith Junction and the Towers are the new ones. So there are some rules for both of those. We've got the 6 adventures again for the Chaos expansion here. Again, all of them I think you're going to really enjoy. Creature of Chaos, Dark Assembly, Black Crystal, Chaos Gate, Raise the Citadel, and then Bloodlord to finish it off. Here's the reference table at the back as well too. And again, the Fortress of Blood highlights these 4 champions, which again, these names were taken from and kind of highlight and honor some of our Warhammer Quest fans. So again, those of you that that are familiar with some of the fans of Warhammer Quest that make comments on our page and things like that, I kind of use their names in some manner for these 4 basic villains. We've got the map on the back that kind of discusses the area a little bit, shows the area of where this is all taking place. Kislev here, the Empire here, and the Sea of Chaos and this whole overwhelming area where the Chaos incursions come from and things. So again, all that's mentioned in the history and backgrounds. So that's the Fortress of Blood. And then kind of continuing on with the Palace of Temptation, which is the Chaos Slaanesh adventure pack. And instead of going into something that's a little bit more brutal with murder and things of that nature as the Fortress of Blood does, this one is all about obsession, corruption. And so we've got, again, Sabrina Deathkiss is our main villainess, and then we have Marius the Sufferable, which first appeared in White Dwarf magazines as a villain, and so I kept him. I've got 2 new board sections. I've already released the Den of Desires, but I've got the Bedchamber and also another one here too. We've got some unique villains with a Chaos Champion, and the other one is a Beastmaster or a Beastman Champion. And as we go again with the basic rules here, the little introduction. In the Chaos Waste north of the Empire lies another world, another universe of creatures that pour in endless torrents through a rent in the void. Here chaos gods and demons stalk the world, destroying and perverting all in their reach. These men and women who succumb to the dark powers become the followers of chaos. That service brings power, and although the fanatical find their reward, chaos extracts its toll as minds twist and warp, and so do bodies. And so this one again has, just a lot more of the stranger creatures that the warriors might find, at least their appearance. But the gallery, the bedchamber, the den of desires, all listed in here. with the new rules as well too. So basics again of setting up and all the cards, the background again of the Slaanesh, all the villains listed in here as well too, and then the rules for the board sections. And we've got some secrets in the bedchamber, a secret door. Got some really neat artwork, you know, that Warhammer Quest, or I should say Warhammer Fantasy Battles, have used in various publications. So some John Blanche in here, which is really, really cool. Got your objective room monster table. Again, got your rules for all of the new rooms and the objective room as well too. And then we've got the 6 adventures: the Keep of Corruption, the Four Gallants, Bard of Brionne, Eternal Devotion, Dreams Fulfilled, and then Mutation Revelation. So again, another one that involves chaos cults as well too. And so you'll have again another reference table in here. And then on the back, the Kingdom of Bretonnia, as all the adventures do take place in the Kingdom of Bretonnia, chosen explicitly because it's the Slaanesh, and because of the nobilities, you know, their flair for the beautiful, the excessive, the rich and luxury that the Bretonian elite is known for. And so again, that one comes in, again, using some John Blanche stuff in here for the cover. And then we've got the last one in here, which is the Skaven, which is my attempt at finishing the one that first came out in White Dwarf magazine. So those 3 adventures are still in there. We've got, again, the villains. I've added a couple of villains in here. As you might remember from White Dwarf, the 3 villains had come out. I added a couple more. This one, the Skaven mechanic, was, in my opinion, and from my understanding, was created for a Warhammer Quest, the unreleased Skaven master mechanic. There's a lot of copies going around right now that you could probably find a recast of him and things if you wanted to get, you know, such a model. But we've added in again the model from, you know, that's considered Throt the Unclean. He's now Critch Blistrot, Skaven champion. We've got 2 new board sections, actually 1 new board section, because this one came out in was at White Dwarf 195. The Sewer came out, I want to say it was White Dwarf maybe 204, which was part of that whole Chaos Slaanesh adventure that they had talked about in there. And I'm sure it was going to be used for the Skaven expansion, so I went ahead and made those, kept those 2 and made a new one called the Workshop, where again the mechanic does a lot of his fixing and things like that. So you'll find again introduction just as normal, the basics of setting up. We've got some background on Skaven, of course. We've got some great artwork again from all the different you know, Warhammer publications and things. And then the minions table with Quirk the engineer, his minions, his magic, the rat golem and his rules for movement, or its rules for movement. We've got Skreek Deathstrike, and then we've got you know, Critch Blistrot, the Skaven champion. We've got the Thwack, the Skaven master mechanic, and all his rules. Got your Skaven objective room monster table. And again, this one, you know, kind of goes back to kind of the same premise. A lot of this was taken. Below the bustling cities of humanity lurks a darkness which constantly strives to overthrow civilization. The labyrinthine under empire of the Skaven stretches out from Skaven blight like a canker, endeavoring to create the domain of the horned rat. The warriors must venture into the rat-infested sewers and tunnels that lie beneath Middenheim to confront the Skaven and stop their many schemes to expand their domain. As they venture further and further, the warriors will be accosted by swarms of ratmen, led by conniving Skaven warlike engineer. This dastardly villain and his army will soon flood forth to the surface, where they will unleash a plague upon the city unless the warriors can stop them in time. And so again, that was the original premise, you know, of the article in White Dwarf 195. I've kept, you know, the 3 adventures as well too that originally appeared in there. I kept I believe that the objective room monster table, I might have set that one up, but they did have some, some villains, or at least the monster list. I've put those onto cards and expanded upon that. Here's the rules for the board sections. We've got, let's see what else we got in here. So the sewer, okay, so yeah, so all the board section rules are in here. And then the adventures, and if you remember in White Dwarf 195, came out with A Knife in the Dark. That is still the first one. Sneaking Around, I believe, was the second one. I've created a plan of attack, Stop the Assassination, and then Almost Perfect Creation, and then the grand finale, Fire and Warpstone. So again, I think it mentions in here as well too, that all the adventures can be played individually by using all the standard rules. You can also work your way through them in sequence to form a mini campaign. This means that if you like, rather than rolling the dice to see which adventure you play, you can play them in order, starting with Adventure 1 and working through to Adventure 6. All the adventures will feature the new objective room, Quirk's laboratory, where the warriors will encounter Quirk, his rat golem, and his warp fire generator. So I've kept to that theme that they originally did, and I, basically have filled in some of the adventures, and created again the same aspect of continuation, that each one kind of leads into the next, and some of the adventures are like that in these other ones as well too, where they kind of like, I think Curse of Konzhaufen is one of those too, where you can start at 1 and go right to 6, because they flow really nice one into the other. Whereas some, just like Larry the Orc Lord, the official expansion, Orcs and Goblin one, doesn't do that. It's just very random. They're all individual. They don't really connect to each other, and so some of them are like that. And so, at any rate, so sorry about that. Turn this off here. So we've got a reference sheet back here for the Skaven, and which is again very similar to the official expansions. And these will all, again, I'll come back to all these, and a lot of them are going to look like this with the reference sheets in them. They'll look real nice like that with the appropriate stats. Some of them I might keep, with in this manner. I think the Chaos ones I'll be keeping like this, which is going to feature a minions reference table instead, and we'll just have a nice back cover because a lot of those are important, to the area. But some of these other ones aren't quite like that, and so so the reference sheet might be a little bit different in the future. But for the most part, this is what we're looking at for right now. We've got, again, 4 new expansions here that everybody's going to want, because these are cool, these are great, they're, again, great addition. Right now I'm working still on the Tzeentch expansion. I think a lot of you know I've already finished the Nurgle expansion. It's not printed yet. A lot of these books I have to print in pairs or in 4s, just to make them worthwhile, and then we have to have a group kind of come in and purchase them as well too, so that it just makes it affordable. There is a minimum order, but they're really well done as far as the printing is concerned. I've been really pleased with the printer, and so I'll wait until I finish the Tzeentch one, and then that'll appear with the Nurgle one, and those will be available at that time. And then also still working on a Goblin one as well too, which is just goblins. And then there's also another one, the Dwarf Mines. So there's actually 4 more expansions that I plan to release here, and print up. So 3 more to release. One's already been released but not printed yet. That's the Nurgle one. So there'll be 4 more to talk about here in the near future too. And then that's kind of it. Then I'm taking a break. All the expansion will have been set, and all the basic rules will have been done, and I'll be working on getting the cards printed at that point, and the board section as well too. And then once I get all of that other stuff squared away, I will come back to these expansions. I'm thinking Domain of the Horned Rat might be first, but I'll come back and do the advanced rules, a roleplay adventure in there for a games master as well too, And yeah, so it's going to be great, guys. I've got a lot of plans in the future, but again, like I said, I can't do one expansion at a time and do all the components. It's too expensive to try to do such little pieces of things, because cards and then a book and then a board section. It just doesn't work out like that. I have to do a massive amount of things at the same time. They're all similar, so all the rule books have to be done at the same time, all the cards at the same time, all the board sections at the same time, all the the counters. Just so that's the process. That's just how it has to work out at this point. So bear with me as it looks like things are a little unfinished, but I wanted everybody to be able to at least play the basic rules. And but I'll be getting out those monster tables in the future, guys, so that you can play any level of these at any point, just like the Hall of the Hag Queen, which is again a full length, fully done Dark Elf expansion with all the advanced rules, a role play in it as well too. So all right, guys, well, this is it. These are the 4 in here again that have just come out. They are available for purchase. They are $10 each, so it's $40 for the set. You'll need to purchase the entire set at this point in order, again, to make it financially feasible to get these done. Remember, I'm not making any profit off these. That is the printing costs direct to you, and plus any shipping as well. So again, $40 for the set, but again, real high quality. I mean, just excellent. I really, again, love the quality that they're doing with these booklets. They're just doing a fantastic job, and I'm grateful to be able to have a company able to do this right now. So let's take advantage of it, guys, and again, look forward to 4 more in the near future. All right, everybody, hope you all get a game of Warhammer Quest in soon. I hope these will help you do it as well too. All right.